Welcome to this Windows channel, and this is a interesting chart that is looking at the usage of the different assistants that are available. One of the interesting things is that, of course, many devices, is not, if not most devices now, have some form of assistant that you can use, and it's interesting to see, dominance versus usage versus who will win or not in here. When we look at this chart, one of the things that really comes out is that Siri is dominant. It is the biggest and most used assistant according to this chart. Second is Samsung Voice. And that's interesting, but it reflects also one thing is that the iniquities also in the fact that Siri is popular, but it's some of the most popular device also. And Apple did push Siri a lot. So I mean, everybody that has an iPhone knows Siri exists. Not everybody that has an Android knows that you can use either Google Hello, Google Now Launcher, and ask things. It's not as obvious on an Android device. When I look at my Galaxy S7, I know it's there. I use it sometimes, but it's not obvious because on the Apple side, it's extremely obvious, and they've made it kind of easier to use. On Samsung, you have to go into using it with that little icon, the microphone icon, basically. In Apple, they've done it in a really interesting way. Is that you just hold the home button, and Siri will pop up. So there are several ways that make the assistant more present, and you know that it's there, that it exists, and that it can do something for you. But they're not all created equal. Siri is actually not that great compared to a lot of other assistants. Cortana is an interesting one here because it's very, very difficult. How do they get that information from this study? It's very, 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 very unique. I don't know how they got this data. We learned that Microsoft always sends out these numbers that we don't really know where they come from, and they were saying that there was like, I don't know, 140 unique users of Cortana. But what does that mean? Does that mean if you accidentally clicked the icon for Cortana, that little pop-up that even if you don't ask anything counts as a result? It's far from what we see here. If we look here at the monthly users, unique users, Siri is way, way, way ahead of everybody at 48.7 million. But it is down. If you look at May 2016, May 2017, it is down. Less people are using it. But you know what? I think it's also the fact that when Siri came out, everybody wanted to try it. Everybody wanted to use it. Everybody wanted to see what it does. And of course, that new thing, novelty, is kind of gone. So I expect Siri to lose some because of that. Now, one of the interesting things, if we look at Cortana here, they say that monthly unique users is at 0.2 million on 2016 and 0.7 million on 2017. That means it is rising at an interesting pace. But Cortana is not as prevalent as Siri. Siri is available almost everywhere. Cortana is available only at very, very select markets, which makes it much, much less usable for a lot of people than it is with Siri, for example. Google Hello, which was a new product, that's why it says not available here, did move up to 1 million unique users. The problem with Google is the fact that it's separated in different devices and different products, but kind of interesting. Google text-to-speech is kind of interesting. Really, really huge increase, and I do understand why. If it does the job well, it's actually something really cool. Look at the Amazon Alexa. If we look at zero point 0.8 million May 2016 to 2.6 million May 2017, and that also is a product that's not available everywhere, but that's a huge increase. when you look at this. So it's kind of, interesting. We have the time. If you look at the time spent per users per month in hours, um, that's kind of 14 minutes here, and it was 39 minutes per month for Siri. So that's kind of interesting when you look at that. If you look at Cortana, look at Cortana. Cortana has a 2 hour and 31 minute range of spent time per month. Huge increase over May 2016. Google Hello has a 2 hour. If we look at Amazon Alexa, 18 minutes, sorry. Interesting. And I'm still wondering how they got this data. How did they make this study? But it's still an interesting study to look at, because one of these will be an ultimate winner at some point, maybe two, and they will be the dominant players that everybody use, like pretty much everything else. So one question that comes to mind that I'd like to ask users, all of you viewing this video: do you use some form of assistant? And I'm not talking just Windows. Do you use an assistant like, on your Android device, or on, do you use Siri, or do you use Cortana, or do you have a Amazon product where you use Alexa? I'd like to actually learn a little more on who out there of you use these assistants. Personally, I did use Siri a lot, but since I've moved from an iPhone to an Android phone, I now used, of course, the Google Now assistant most of the time when I want to do something, and it actually works very well, very well. I do use Cortana on Windows. I find that it actually understands and responds and does things in one of the best ways of all devices and all assistants I've used. So kind of interesting, but I would not put, if I look at my own personal usage of Cortana and Google Now, I'd say that it is minutes per month that I use it. I don't even think I actually spent an hour per month using even both assistants put together. I'm not making an hour per month, I'm pretty sure. So interesting numbers to look at here. And what is your usage of these assistants? Let me know. And if you enjoy our videos, please subscribe, give us a thumbs up. Thank you for watching.